What's going on, everybody? This is Angelo from Caps on Fire, and welcome back to another tutorial. So in this video today, I'm going to be showing you guys how to sublimate your very own shirts. All right, so before we get this video started, I need you to do a couple things for me. Okay, first, I need you to click the subscribe button below to subscribe to our channel. That way you'll be notified whenever I do brand new videos or things of that nature. Secondly, click the description down below and I have a link posted to our Facebook group where we cover sublimation topics. So it can be things from live tutorials to showcasing your artwork, giveaways, troubleshooting your printer, just tons and tons of things that we will be covering within the group. All right, so let's get this show on the road. The very first thing you need to understand when sublimating shirts is it has to be a bare minimum of a 50% polyester shirt. All right, for the most vibrant colors, you're gonna want to go with 100% polyester. Personally, the shirt I like the most is Jersey's 21M because that's gonna be one of your, how can I put it, one of your lowest costing shirts that's gonna feel like cotton and not have that real shiny, you know, polyester look to it. Okay, it's gonna be a dull shirt, look just like cotton, like I said. All right, so let's go ahead and cover the materials that you will need for this project. Of course, you will need a workforce printer. Right here we have a workforce 7720. Also, I do have a video that will show you how to convert this over to doing sublimation. All right, so I will be posting a link on that in the down below in the description as well, where you can, you know, build your own printer. All right, after that, we are going to need a heat press. All right, this is an Impress by Heat Press Nation. This one is a 16 by 20. I recommend anything a 16 by 20 or the 16 by 24. All right, because you want at least a 1 inch area on each sides of your heat press, which is going to be bigger than your sublimation paper if you were to print something that covered the entire sheet. All right, so to be on the safe side, I recommend at bare minimum, y'all, a 16 by 20. All right, next up after that, we have our blank shirt. As far as where to find the blank shirt, I typically get mine from Alpha Broder or t-shirtwholesaler.com. That's t-shirtwholesaler.com, or from Alpha Broder. After that, we have our image that we're going to be putting on our shirt. Of course, we reversed the image when we printed it because when we lay it down, it's going to flip the other way. After that, we have a Teflon pillow. We have our scissors because we are going to need to cut down all this extra space on the image. We have a lint brush right here. We have our heat tape to hold down our image onto our substrate. And then we have our butcher paper. All right, so the rule of thumb when you're sublimating t-shirts, personally I like to do 400 degrees for 60 seconds. That's going to be the recommended time pretty much all across the board when heat pressing your shirts. All right, so let's go ahead and get this started. First thing that you want to do is you want to turn your heat press on to 400 degrees and make sure it's clocked at 60 seconds, which we already have going on right now. After that, I'll set this over here. What we want to do now is we want to use our lint brush to get as much lint off of the shirt as possible. As you can see, I've been heavily using mine. There's lint all on it. I'll just go ahead and tear this off to get a new sheet. There we go. So what you need to do is get as much lint off the shirt as possible. All right, the reason you're doing this is because when we put our shirt inside our heat press and we heat press it, the heat, when it hits that lint will naturally turn blue, which will cause the squiggly blue lines on your shirt. All right, if you already do sublimation, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, so to avoid that, please make sure you use a lint brush. And personally, I recommend doing everything within the area that you will be heat pressing, okay? So if you're gonna be doing sleeves, make sure you get the sleeves really good with the lint brush, but since we're only doing the front of the shirt, we wanna get the front of the shirt as much as possible, all right? So we're gonna lay our shirt out flat, like so. Then we can just go from either side to side or up and down, whichever way you wanna do it. Sometimes I go up and down, it just depends. So yeah, with this one, it's easier to go up and down because you can hold the shirt with the one hand while rolling it up on the other hand. And try to go all the way to the edge because the shirt will stick to your lint roller. All right, so if you go all the way to the edge and roll off, it will remain flat. Now that we have that part done, let's go ahead and take our Teflon pillow and we're gonna insert our Teflon pillow inside the shirt. Now, the reason we are inserting a Teflon pillow inside is because when we put it inside our heat press, we want to reduce the heat platen lines that are gonna show on the shirt, all right? So if you have the Teflon pillow inside of it, it'll give it some type of cushion for it to where you can be able to have enough pressure on the shirt, but at the same time, reducing the heat platen lines that are gonna be on your actual shirt, all right? So now that we have our Teflon pillow inside our shirt, next thing after that is we wanna cut off some butcher paper, all right? We're gonna be cutting 2 sheets. One sheet is gonna go on the inside of the shirt, and then the other sheet is gonna go on the outside on top of our sublimation paper. So the reason we are doing this is because when we go to sublimate our shirt, we don't want the ink to transfer through our shirt onto either the back side of our shirt. So that's why we use the Teflon paper. So we take the first sheet, we can put it inside, and we're gonna lay this right in on top of our Teflon pillow, but beneath the inside of our shirt. So slide it in on top of the pillow. All right, that's good. And then we'll cut out one more. And we'll lay this one on top of our shirt, and then we'll do our pre-press. And before we do our pre-press, I'm gonna show you all something. When you insert your Teflon pillow, please insert it to the point where it's about right here below the collar, okay? Don't push it all the way up to where it's pretty much like right here. We do not want it right there. You do not want it to be situated anywhere anywhere underneath your collar, because when you heat press it, that platen will end up touching that collar and then give you some really ugly heat platen lines going across the collar, okay? So that is something that we do not want at all. All right. So now that we have our Teflon pillow situated down a little bit, still got our butcher paper inside. We can pick it up. We can slide it inside the heat press. And we have our collar hanging out, which is good. Take our other sheet of butcher paper, slide it in. And I recommend doing a quick press at first, okay? Don't pull it all the way down and latch it just yet, because we have a clamshell. I want to go ahead and make sure our pressure is correct for the shirt. So we pull it down some. That's pretty good. I guess I still have it set up from last time, but just as a forewarning, just because you have it set up from a previous job you did, like I did a job maybe like a day or two ago, just because it's set up for that, you definitely still want to test it every single time just to be sure. So we pull it down some, it's working, it's good. And we do a countdown, I say about like 4 or 5 seconds. All right, that's 5 seconds. And the reason that we are doing that is because we want to pull out that moisture that's inside of our shirt. So if you do anything like vinyl or heat transfers and things like that, you know exactly what I'm talking about, okay? So we got all the moisture that was within that area outside of our shirt. And also by doing that, we laid down all our fibers as well. And you can be able to look at your shirt and you'll see the flattened out area. If you see anywhere where there's a little bit of wrinkling going on, that means that the platen wasn't flushly touching that area, or the pressure wasn't high enough to touch that area. So I may turn it just a little bit, and that should be good. So now, after this is the easy part. Okay, all we do is just get our sheets right here. We can take our scissors and we can cut, I say about right here. So now that we got that cut, let's look at the top part. We can pretty much leave the top part. Of course, there's this spacing right here that we definitely must account for. So because I like my designs a little bit close up to the collar, as you can see with this one, I'm gonna make sure that I place our topmost part of our image a little bit closer. All right, so this part may go over the collar just a little bit, but like I said, there will be no heat platen lines on the collar because that part of the collar will not be touching the heat press. So we just take our image, we grab our heat tape, and I like to pull out 3. All right, I like to put heat tape on 3 of my fingers. So from here, we can put some heat tape right here at the top, on this side, and then on this side. Right there, right there, right there. After you put it on, it should look like so. Right, so we got it on the back of our sublimation paper. Now we just take it and we lay it down on our image. A good rule of thumb as far as centering your image on your shirt, I like to make sure that this side is the same amount of distance from the seam right here where your sleeve is connecting to your shirt, is the same distance as this side where the seam is connecting to the shirt. We're gonna pull it up some and make sure that image that I said earlier was nice and close to the collar. Everything is centered. Then I grab my 4th piece of tape, put it down here at the bottom, and that looked like that is it. So now we pick up our shirt. I like to tuck the sleeves in just in case for the heat platen, so it don't get caught along the heat platen, and then stretch the shirt out. Set it inside like so. Make sure our sublimation paper is all the way in. And then we get up. Before we do that, grab our butcher paper. We do not want to forget this, and then slide this on top of our shirt. Once we have that done, that's it. You can pull it down, heat press it, and then just wait for the time to go down to 60 seconds. So another rule of thumb, sublimation do not come with white ink. All right, so whatever color your shirt is, the shirt will take over that void. All right, so if you have a gray shirt, the white in your image will end up turning gray, but also the other colors, they will shift a little bit. okay, because it's blending in with the actual color of your shirt. All right, so if you're going to be doing different color shirts, I recommend printing out a color wheel and then heat pressing that color wheel to all your different color shirts. So then that way you know what you'll know like which color the colors will shift into, you know. So if you take a blue shirt and you're well, not blue shirt because that'd be a little too dark, let's say like a lime green shirt, and you sublimate the color wheel on it, your blue may turn to something like orange or, you know, something crazy or whatever. So I definitely recommend getting that color wheel and heat pressing it to multiple colors of shirts. And that's it. Our heat press is done. We hurry up and take it out. We can discard that. Take off your sublimation paper, discard that. Slide your, be careful because it is hot. Slide Teflon Pillow out, and then that is it, guys. All right, original 1988 shirt. So that pretty much wraps up everything. If you want to know more about sublimation and how to do sublimation properly and different techniques and stuff like that, like I said, please click on the description down below, and then you can join our Facebook group where we talk about sublimation all day, every day, answer questions. If you need sublimation supplies, I have a link down below where you can click on that, where you can get my branded sublimation ink. And yes, that image is what I used for my sublimation ink as well. All right. So that pretty much wraps up everything. And once again, guys, please do not forget to click on the subscribe button below, and I'll see you all in the next video. All right, Angelo out.